Ladies and gentlemen, boy, oh boy, do we have some stuff for you today. Ubisoft, ladies and gentlemen, the poster child for bad decisions, corporate greed, and bad games in a nutshell. Now, Oak, what in the world has Ubisoft done this time? Well, listen, it's not what they have done, but what they haven't. They're a progressive company with big ideas. Quadruple A quality, they say.
It even has a watermark.
Now, if you honestly believe any of that, you are 100% butt fucking sane. Ubisoft had their annual meeting of shareholders that they hold on July 17th, so let us see it. Boy, you're having a laugh, right? These old geriatrics are the CEOs. Now, already, as you can see here, we are off to a flying start. Two gentlemen who look like they're about 3 foot under, sitting around answering questions about video games. My hopes were not high at this point, and as you can imagine, I think they probably are going to go down. Maybe they know their stuff, you know? Maybe they're onto it.
Hello, Mr. Guillemot. Boris Ghetto. I'm a recent shareholder, but I'm a long-standing user of Ubisoft wares. I have a couple of questions. First of all, regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's been a lot of controversy regarding that game. How do you respond?
Before I say anything about the CEO, God bless this woman, man. Oh my God. Like, it just on the opening statement, straight into the bread and butter. This is great. Now, for those of you who don't know, a while back now, Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, and prior to that, it was embroiled in perhaps some of the worst internet I have ever seen on my time on this earth. Cultural misappropriation, and even to the point of getting to where the Japanese ministers at the time were thinking of pulling some maneuvers due to the misappropriation of their culture. This made it all the way into Japanese parliament, where it was spoken about in the actual parliament setting itself, with all the ministers present, because it was just that bad.
いわゆる朝栗問題ということについてお伺いしたいんですが、明日3月20日にですね、発売予定のフランスの UBI ソフトの株式会社制作のゲームソフトのアサシンクリードシャドウズにですね、ついてなんですけど、海外で先行プレイの動画が YouTube でアップされておりまして、それを拝見いたしますと、板手氷津シュラインと実名で私の兵庫県の姫路市の入間の国奏者板手氷津神社が登場します。ゲームの中でですね、主人公の侍は刀を振り回して拝殿内で太鼓や神教祭壇を粉砕しまして、そして境内にいる向こうの民や神職とおもしき人物などを切りつけ弓を射ったりするような乱暴狼藉ができるようになっています。
Now, this is a bit of an odd one for me, because usually I would actually be on the side of the game dev, because I think creative freedom should be allowed to be expressed however you wish, even if it is offending another country. Because Assassin's Creed Shadows prides itself on being accurate to history, having Yasuke being able to do this is insane. The idea that I get when it comes to the cultural significance of shrines is if you destroy them, it is borderline treason. I might be wrong on it. You guys in Japan, Japanese viewers out there, there's a few of you. If you can correct me, go ahead.
私はこの話を聞いてですね、ちょっと地元の神社でもありますので、直接宮司さんにお話を伺いました。 当該ゲーム会社からは神社に対しまして、名称の使用許可などの連絡は一切なかったということであります。
石破内閣総理大臣。
これを法的にどうするかということにつきましては、経産省、あるいは文科省、あるいは外務省とよく協議をしてまいりたいと思っておりますが、神社に落書きするなんぞというのはもってのほかの話であってですね、それはもうその国に対する侮辱に他ならないと私は思っておるところでございます。で、自衛隊をイラク・サマーワに出しますときに、もちろんイスラム教を信じるとかそういう話ではありませんが、イスラム教のしきたりとか、そういうものは現地に派遣される自衛官たちにきちんと習得していくようにということをお願いをいたしました。例えば料理を全部食べちゃわないといけないって、日本ではみんな食べないと申し訳ないみたいなことがありますが、じゃあかの国では全部食べちゃうと足りなかったと。いう意思表示になってなんと失礼なと。
It's a bad day in Ubisoft when the Prime Minister of Japan is going on record saying you're being disrespectful in your game about Japan. That is kind of insane.
Ubisoft has been accused and criticized for this wokest trend. I mean, this is happening in 16th century medieval Japan, and the main character is an African samurai. That's a bold choice by Ubisoft, and in the story he falls in love. That's one of the possibilities of the game. He gets to fall in love with a transgender character. So, woke or no woke?
Woke or no woke? I mean, you gotta admit, like, even if you are part of the woke horde that exists, falling in love with a transgender character, a black samurai serving under Oda Nobunaga, falling in love with it.
So is that a show of openness on your part, or are you going to backtrack or backpedal on that leftist political agenda?
Bro, she's going right for the throat. I mean, we need more like this. Where can we find more of these?
What about accusations that video games are being killed, and there's this petition with thousands of signatories? How do you make sure that games remain playable and accessible even after server support is discontinued? This petition was initiated in 2024 after Ubisoft announced the end of server support for the crew.
Now, this is what I really wanted to get to. The whole stuff around stop killing games. I really wanted to see what the CEO had to say about this in particular, because Ubisoft, as she said, was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. When they closed off the crew being able to be played, it started a whole thing. So let's have a look at that.
Let me start with Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's one thing you need to consider. When you get to play the game, you understand that the game is full of characters, and the characters actually blend in with the game.
This guy has never touched a game in his life. He has never been slick on the sticks. I mean, mate, what the fuck do you mean blends? The characters blend together. Yes, Mr. French. The gay African samurai marrying a transgender person in 15th or 16th century Japan blends in perfectly. I've never heard of a better marriage candidate. It actually just straight up fucking baffles me whenever CEOs of companies don't actually know what their company sells. They just kind of exist to make sure it runs correctly. I could not own a company without knowing exactly what it does. That is insane to me.
Obviously, with regard to this particular game, what was our goal? We wanted to showcase characters with heroic journeys. Everybody wants to play a hero's journey. You shift your circumstances and you become something more. And it's a very powerful expectation from games. This is a hero quest. And it doesn't just apply to Ubisoft or manga series, or this is an actual character. This is someone who really existed. And showcasing that character has been extremely successful. And that is why we decided to tell that story. We wanted to tell a different story.
You guys can probably already tell. I think he's an absolute plonker, but Yasuke being real. And this is a contested point because the guy who claims that he is real is some bloke from Europe who supports his own findings by allegedly creating an alternate account and uploading his own findings and congratulating his own findings by himself on this alternate account and uploading it to Wikipedia. If you look at the Wikipedia articles, these are allegedly all written by the same person who seems to believe that Yasuke was this person and that he served the position that he did. So Ubisoft, being the company that they are, when they need someone to do culturalism in their game, surely they would just grab someone from Japan. There's many talented gaming companies over there. I'm sure they'd be willing to let one of their staff help out on this in exchange for maybe a bit of cash, maybe a bit of money. No, why would they do that? You're an idiot. Instead, we here at Ubisoft are going to hire the guy who allegedly self-promoted himself into stardom and created this Yasuke figure. So, yeah, that's great.
Regarding the petition, we operate in a market, and whenever we release a game, we provide a lot of support for that game. We also provide a lot of services to make sure that the game is accessible and remains playable 24/7. So we provide information regarding the game and how long the game can be played. And players and buyers are forewarned that eventually the game may be discontinued. Now, what happened with this game? There was a €1 fee proposed to all buyers of the game. For just €1, they got to buy the next version. €1. It's not a whole lot of money to be able to continue playing a game. And we also announced that the game would be available offline in future so that players could continue to play it.
This guy actually does have some pretty good points when it comes down to it. The problem is that none of those points have any correlation with Stop Killing Games whatsoever. Stop Killing Games wants you to hand over the old codes and whatnot that let the game run appropriately so that they can use them to continue holding up the server so long as there's a community for it. And quite frankly, I think by purchase, that is how it should be. You cannot take a painting away from someone after, 7 years of them having it. You just decide, oh, well, no, actually, I want that back without some form of reimbursement. That's not how that works. It's not how it should work. End of story. And here's the thing, Ubisoft. You guys have said before in the past, and it's not just you, a great many developers have said this, gamers should start to get comfortable with not owning their games. Ultimately, we have the money, not you guys, and quite frankly, we don't like that. So you're just going to have to play with our rules, and I mean, if you don't, well, Ubisoft's just going to have to get comfortable with not having their games being bought. That's all from me. I watched the rest of the video. I highly suggest you guys go and watch it. It's by Steven Totilo. Anyway, see yous. Bye.